I love to bake and I love chocolate, so when I found this recipe a couple years ago, I knew it was going to be a favorite. This double chocolate chip cookie tastes like a brownie and a cookie combined. It is the perfect blend of chocolates to make the perfect dessert for any occasion. And it's easy and fun to make. This delicious double chocolate chip cookie are perfect for the chocolate lover and super easy to make. I have to give you a warning though, you may want to eat all of these cookies by yourself. So let's get started. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. I've already done this step. Next, you need to gather your supplies. You need a large mixing bowl, a hand mixer, a wooden spoon, measuring spoons, measuring cups, an ice cream scooper I use for the cookie dough, and a cookie sheet. For the measuring utensils, I'm using a 1 cup and a 1/4 cup. And then for the spoons, I'm using a 1 spoon, a 1/2 spoon, and a 1/4 teaspoon. Once you have all your supplies ready, you can get your ingredients. We need flour, brown sugar, white sugar, eggs, salt, baking soda, vanilla, baking cocoa powder, milk chocolate and white chocolate chips, and butter. This recipe is nice because it calls for simple tools and simple ingredients that most people already have in their home. With all of our supplies gathered, we're ready to start. To begin, we want to start with the wet ingredients and the sugars. So we need the four sticks of butter, and they need to be soft but not melted. Room temperature butter is perfect, or you can use butter from the fridge if you microwave it. You have to be careful to watch your butter as it microwaves because we don't want it to be soupy, we just want it to be soft. So, we're adding the butter still. And try not to make a mess with the butter. I usually do, but just unwrap it. See, it's nice and soft, it's squishy. Just put it in your bowl, and now we need to add 2 1/4 cups of brown sugar. See, brown sugar. We're going to use our 1 cup. We'll use that 1. And, oops, 2. And then our 1/4 cup. That's it for the brown sugar. Now we need 3/4 cups of white sugar. So I don't actually have a 3/4 cup measuring cup, so we're just going to use our 1/4 cup 3 times. So we go 1, 2, 3. Now we have all of our butter and sugars combined. We need to add in the eggs. I like to crack my eggs in a separate container so that way if I get a shell in it, I'm not digging through the butter and sugar trying to get it out. So we crack it, put it in the cup, and check for shells. No shells, it's good. Do this 2 more times. Crack it, cup, check, dump. Crack it. Ooh, that one cracked a little funny. Still no shells. Now that we have those ingredients, I need to rinse my hands because there's eggs on it. Now we can add in the vanilla. We need 4.5 teaspoons of vanilla. So we'll take our 1 teaspoon and do that 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then we need a half. 1. That's it for the vanilla. Now that we're done with the wet ingredients, we are going to mix it just to combine all the ingredients. So most baking recipes call for all the wet ingredients first. Always be careful to be aware of the consistency that your butter should be and not get eggshells in your batter, because these both could ruin your recipe if not given the proper attention. Just give it a little bit of a mix. Our butter is nice and soft. That looks good. It's well combined. Oops. Now for the dry ingredients. We need to combine them into the same bowl to save on dishes. We'll start with the baking soda. We need 1.5 teaspoons of it. Since our 1.5 teaspoons are wet from our vanilla, we're gonna have to wipe it off. I just use a little napkin. And 1.5. So these baking soda containers have a little slot where you put the spoon in, scoop it out, and ta-da. For baking soda, you want to try to spread it around all the dough just to make it even. Now we need our half. And that's done with the baking soda. Next we need the salt. So it calls for 3/4 of a teaspoon of salt, but I only have 1/4, so we're gonna do it 3 times. So we go 1, try to do the sprinkling again, 2, and 3. This just helps, the sprinkling just helps with making sure all of it is even and spread out. Now we need to do the cocoa powder. I usually make a mess with this because it either comes out too slow or too fast. So in order to not do that, you can tap the container onto the cup. That way it comes out in a nice, orderly fashion. And that one is empty. There's 1 cup. Whew. Still made a mess. And we need 1 more cup. And there we go. Okay, done with that. Now we need to mix it all around, because when you add the flour in, there's a lot of little things that need mixed before that. So we'll just give it a quick whip. Try not to get the cocoa powder everywhere because it likes to fly, and as you can see, it makes a mess on your shirt. Okay, now that that is pretty well mixed, we will add in the flour. We need 3 cups of flour. So we use make sure you wipe down your cup because it will have cocoa powder that you don't want in your flour container. So just wipe it out real good and wipe the side too. Now, you want to scoop the flour, but then after you scoop it, you'll want to use the flat side of a butter knife to make sure the top is even. That way you fill in the whole cup completely, and then scrape off any extra. and then it ensures that you have the exact amount. So 1, 2, and 3. Now we're done with that. This is the hard part, not getting the flour everywhere. So just take it nice and slow. Make sure your cord doesn't get in there either. This is a really thick cookie dough, so it's okay if it's thick. Almost there. You can still see some of the flour, but just keep mixing until it's all brown. And there you have it. Cookie dough. Okay, now we need to add in our chocolate chips. We need half a bag of milk chocolate. I just kind of guessed. Yep, that feels about half. And then half a bag of white chocolate. Or you can substitute the white chocolate for peanut butter chips. So it's kind of like a peanut butter chocolate. That's pretty fun too. And now instead of using the mixer again, it's a little too thick for that, so we're going to use a wooden spoon to mix it. I'll clean those in a second. It's easier to clean off your beaters with a butter knife rather than the big wooden spoon. So you just kind of mix it all around until the chips are evenly spread out. And it should look like this. Now that we have our dough made, we're gonna cook them. So we need a cookie sheet and cooking spray. So when you just take a cookie sheet and you just kind of go back and forth, spreading an even layer on the sheet. You only have to do this in the beginning because there will be enough cooking spray on it for the rest of the baking. Now you take your ice cream scooper and you scoop about that much, just a little dough ball, and evenly space them on the cookie sheet. You go 1, 2, 3 by 4, and there will be a total of 12 cookies. If you do not have an ice cream scooper, you can use a couple kitchen spoons. Scoop with one, and so you kind of push the dough onto the cookie sheet with the other. And there you have it, the double chocolate chip cookie. This recipe makes about 54 cookies, so there will be plenty to share. Your friends and family are sure to love them. They are the perfect blend of chocolates that makes you keep coming back for more. And this recipe is super easy and great for any occasion.